Oh, it just got quiet and weird for a sec. So, how's it going, guys?
Good.
It's going great.
And Gino, how are you?
I'm okay.
You don't know what's going on. You look like you're a deer caught in headlights.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost.
Here we have Gino, Marinelle, Maritoni, Justin, and Claren. All of them are going to be graduating at the end of this year.
Hey.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
It's exciting and scary.
I'm so ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you?
Same. It's exciting at the same time. I'm scared to graduate.
She
Claren?
copied me.
Halfway ready?
Halfway ready?
Yeah, getting there. Can I not
Okay.
have the same feelings?
Mixed feelings? That's kind of how I felt when I graduated. Mixed feelings. You're kind of going to miss stuff here, but then you're looking towards the future, which is great. And you guys have promising futures.
Thank
you. Mr. Kung.
So, Justin, you want to talk about what's coming up?
Sure. So on June 10th, we're having a slip and slide brought to you by Student Council. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come out. June 10th, right after, what time
Well,
is
the
it?
last one was tons of fun, and this time it's going to be lots of fun as well.
Mr.
we
Kung,
know-
do you remember, have you watched the Slip Inside promo video from last year?
Yeah, with the GoPro cam. Yeah, we gotta have
Did
the
you guys
GoPro
see
cam.
when Mr. Kung fell head on onto the slip and slide?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that hurt.
His
I was
face
holding the
priceless.
camera, and, I lost my balance, and I whacked myself.
I replayed that part so many times.
She
Oh, thank
screenshotted
you.
it, and she sent
Every
it
time
to
you
us.
watched it hurt me. Gino, you ready
Yeah.
to graduate?
No.
No.
No. I don't want to graduate. I want
Well-
to stay here with Mr. Kong.
Oh, that's so sweet. But we're going to have to get you out of here at some point.
I want to live with you.
You want to live with me? No. All right. So anything else you guys want to chat about? Any advice for future generations of Delviewite?
Don't do bad things.
Don't do bad things, says Gino.
Wow.
Don't make friends with Gino.
Don't make them. Well, Gino will be gone. Right, Gino? You'll be moving on with your life.
Yeah.
Be happy
Be
with
happy
everything you're doing.
with everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Good?
Don't be sad if you don't accomplish what you wanted to. Just carry on.
There's always more opportunities down the road.
Excellent. I like those pieces of advice. In this episode, we interviewed Diaz. You guys know Diaz?
Yes.
Soccer player, soccer pro.
Yeah.
So he talked about his pro soccer life. Mr. Turpin was there as well. And Mr. Turpin actually knows Diaz from way back.
Whoa.
He played against him in high school.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mr. Turpin was heading towards soccer pro, but didn't go that way. But so they had a good chat, and I just sat quietly because I have no idea. I had no idea what they were talking about. But good podcast nonetheless. And Diaz had some great advice on how to be a pro, and we talked about how a little bit of self-doubt is actually good. So be happy, but it's good to have a little bit of self-doubt to move yourself forward. All right. So see you guys, and have a very good next year. It's very promising, and you guys will do well, because you guys have been really great through the past 5 years. I'll miss you all. Come back and visit. We'll do a podcast with our alumni at some point. So take care, you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Kung.
Thank you, Mr. Kung.
Mr. Kung's the best teacher.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to highlight this last part here and play it over and over again. See you guys.
Bye.
High fives. 1, 2, 3,
I'm too short.
4, 5.
Footy?
Footy?
Is that what we're going to call it? Is it going to be footy? No, they mush.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to have an accent when I played soccer.
You had a soccer accent?
Soccer accent. I was English all of a sudden.
Well, that's cool. End of the day. So, that's a microphone.
Is it really?
That means you have to talk into it. Otherwise
Testing.
it doesn't work so well.
But we have this like omnipresent microphone, so I can sit back like
We
this.
kind of do, but if you get a bit closer and get better sound.
Don't you always say that I'm too loud?
Well, I meant like
Oh, okay.
you're a loud person.
Check 1 2 1 2. You got me?
Got you.
Can you hear me? Good?
Diaz?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Are you recording
I
already?
gotta get closer? Or...
A bit closer.
Hola.
That's much better.
Very nice. I'll just lean forward when I want to answer a question.
So how's it going, Diaz?
It's going. Can't complain.
Good. Well, that's the end of our podcast. That's the shortest
Good talk.
Shortest podcast ever. So I was looking you up on Wikipedia. There's some good stuff on there. Have you looked at this Wikipedia?
No, I'm
thing?
going to bring it
You
up
should look
right
it
now.
up.
Yeah.
Well, you can't always believe what you hear or see
Or read.
or read.
Especially on the internet.
Yeah. They say I'm 5'9". That's the only truth in there.
Oh, something got detached.
Did you make up your own Wikipedia page?
Nope.
October 18th? Oh, cool. You're from Uganda?
85, born and raised.
When did you immigrate?
1992, May.
May of 92.
And then we got the snow that year. First time seeing snow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
The year you left?
So we got here in 92, May. And we thought, Canada's like Uganda. Lots of
Oh,
heat. And then we got a rude awakening.
you read that on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Wasn't too good.
Wow. The first snow, what was that like?
Well, considering we had no jackets, no like anything, we came right to the welcome center. Yeah, welcome center, and they gave us a few jackets, but like 4 boys and mom and dad, and like a 2-bedroom little. You know what?
Like this room?
Yeah,
What is the Welcome Center? Where's
it's
that?
downtown. There's a few actually.
Really?
Just that accept immigrants.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were there for 6 months, and then I think there's a time limit because people are constantly coming in.
So you lived there?
Yeah, we lived there
Oh,
for
cool.
about 6 months, and then we had to find out basement suite
Okay.
once my dad got a job and stuff.
Yeah. What prompted the move?
My dad worked for the government,
Yeah.
and it was around Idi Amin, if you know who that is. It was around his time, and so he was trying to overthrow the government that was in place, which is what my dad and a bunch of other people. And so my dad got put in jail. He got released, and so everyone that was still part of the government was being threatened to be killed. So my dad's like, we got to get out of here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like super impressive that you survived that.
Yeah, well, he managed to get...
What was that like as a child to deal with that?
Oh, I had no idea what was going on.
Really?
I just knew that we're moving.
Right.
My dad's like, here's visas,
Yeah.
I was 7.
Wow.
So it was all more like just, oh, okay, I guess we're relocating. I didn't know why.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, stories that they told us why
Yeah.
we left. And
Wow. And you must have left friends and stuff behind and family?
yeah, lots of family.
Yeah.
I couldn't even remember any kind of friends. I just know, it was a little village we lived in.
Right.
Everyone's kind of family friends.
Right.
So I couldn't even name one person. I just
Wow.
remember I had little friends that I played with.
Yeah. Have you been back since?
No.
Wow.
Everyone in my family has been back except for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to go back?
Once the price is right. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And did you come right to Vancouver?
We came right to downtown Vancouver.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Why Vancouver, do you know?
I don't know. I feel like my dad hit the jackpot, to be honest, coming back to Vancouver.
Yeah.
But he picked Vancouver, and we got settled in right into the Britannia community.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
So I was, I came in right to grade 2, actually. Eh?
Oh, okay.
Skipped kindergarten, grade 1.
Nice.
Right to grade 2, and I was just lost.
Yeah.
But
That's cool. And what does your dad do now? Like, what kind of work did he find when he came here?
so his first job, I think, was a longshoreman.
Oh, cool.
Had we known longshoremen get paid crazy amount of money back then,
Yeah.
probably would have stayed in it. Now
Yeah.
he's supervisor at the post office.
Oh, right on.
He's been there since '93.
Super cool. Super
Yeah.
cool. And when did you move out to Coquitlam?
Coquitlam was 98, I think.
Yeah.
98, yeah. So
That's-
I did my first year of high school at Gladstone.
Yep.
In Vancouver.
Yep.
And lasted till spring break. Then we moved over spring break to Monty Middle.
Yeah, Monty Middle. Very cool, very cool. For those of you listening, Diaz went to high school at Centennial Secondary with my wife. Same graduating class of 03.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Coquitlam for the later part of your kind of youth and childhood.
Yeah.
Had you always played competitive soccer?
Growing up, I played for micro soccer, little leagues they had over in Britannia community area.
Yep.
And then I didn't really think of anything about competitive soccer. You know, I was just fast, could kick hard. You
Yeah.
know? I was faster and stronger than most kids my age. So I have an older brother. We always played in the same team, so I played a year up all the time.
Yeah.
And I sat on the bench, came on, but then it was when I turned, let's say 14,
Yeah.
that I really started, showing signs of, soccer is the sport I want to do. Because I was an athlete. I could play baseball, anything, kick the ball around with anybody. And, for around 14, I got ICSF, Juventus.
Yeah.
And that's when I was, that's when I got really, coaches are like, okay, you're 14, you're playing U16 kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you obviously played for your school team.
Yeah, I played for Centennial. So it was in the transition year where, Centennial was a senior high, and Monty was kind of junior high, middle school.
Yeah.
And then they went 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
So I did my grade 10 there, and I played on the senior team. Came off the bench. And then grade 11, 12 is when I kind of started leading the team.
Yeah. And grade 12, do you remember playing against Glen Eagle?
Yeah.
You wiped the floor with us.
Oh, Glen Eagle has a couple. I had good moments there.
It was embarrassing.
Were you playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I think I rainbowed some guy.
Yeah, that might have been me, actually. Yeah, it might have been me. It was, interestingly enough, my schooling was kind of interesting as well. I started school a year early, so I'm technically a year younger than you.
Okay.
But was in the same grad class. So growing up, I knew Diaz, not like personally, but I used to ref a year up and run the lines and stuff. So I was constantly like reffing Diaz's games because we were in the same soccer association,
right.
But I wouldn't have played on his team because I was a year down.
Right.
But in high school, it's grades, right?
Yeah.
So I played against him in high school and just got wiped. But interestingly enough, Diaz and I kind of have a few connections because I ended up going to theater school with three guys that played on
Blake Turner as well?
Blake Turner and the Johnston twins. Yeah. And then I ended up marrying a girl that was in Diaz's grad class. So,
no way.
Yeah. So,
small world.
Yeah, really
Did you guys
small world.
know about this before? Or?
No, I came here, then he recognized the name.
Oh, okay.
And then I guess he talked to his wife. And
I'm like, do you know a guy named Diaz? And she's like, yeah, I know Diaz. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go introduce myself and tell him Melissa says hi.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So we were just starting to scratch the surface of his soccer career.
Yeah, sorry, I had to be taken out of here because there was an issue, and then Well, I'm back, and I just missed the entire conversation.
You missed the immigration history, which was actually super interesting. So you have a lot to listen to when you go back.
Well, I'm going to have to listen to my own podcast to figure that
out. Okay, so you play as selects with Eagle Ridge.
Well, we started Eagle Ridge. We started as a gold team.
Yeah.
So we were U17 gold.
Yeah.
or U16. No, U16 gold. And Chris Bennett.
Yeah, Chris Bennett.
One of the best coaches.
Yeah.
I give him like major praise for my soccer skills now. We started off as a gold team. Sorry, Wendy was.
Oh.
And so that's where my talent. He started to bring out like other skills I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I started getting better. So we were a gold team, U16, and we won that league. So
Yep.
Chris is like, I want to move you guys up to Metro. Because
Cool.
you guys are good enough to play Metro. So U17, we're in the Metro League now. We do mid pack, and U18, I think we won the league.
Yeah.
And lost in provincials.
Yeah.
But Eagle Ridge, Golden Metro.
I'm trying to think of some other guys that were on that team, that Metro team with you. Did you have like Fabian Barthez?
Fabian was on our team.
Yeah, he went to Glen Eagle with me, and Matt Hickman.
Andrew
McAleenan.
Andrew McLean, yeah. He
Yeah.
was our captain, actually.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic soccer player.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's a great athlete.
Matt Hickman had a throw-in that was equivalent to someone else's corner kick.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy could throw the ball from the sideline and hit the middle of the box.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And we had, who else? Matt Newman? Matt Lowen.
Don't know Matt Lowen.
He went to Pine Tree, though.
Oh, did he?
Became a supermodel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a male model all over the world.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's crazy.
I have to look that guy up.
So how did you get to the Delta School District? How did that transition work?
You know what? I was with the Surrey district, and I was working elementary, and I wanted to work with high school kids just because, to relate more with them, and I feel like I give back more. I mean, the elementary kids were sweet; they're awesome, but I wanted to transition into high school, so I looked at Delta's postings, and there was child and youth care work, and I used to be a youth worker in Surrey, so I applied, and lucky enough, my resume was good enough, and got an interview with Marianne, and I guess I nailed it and got hired.
That's awesome.
Was this October? Yeah, early October.
Cool.
So you worked for Surrey School District before this.
Yeah. Well,
and then
I was with Surrey, and I was with a family organization called Umoja, just being, again, youth worker there, helping kids transition from community service and, like, juvie and, getting them community work, dealing with new immigrants that just moved from Canada, from Africa, Middle East to Canada. Again, more youth work stuff to put on my resume, and I guess it was all good enough to get hired here.
When did you start kind of taking your career in that direction?
Well, after I got released from the Whitecaps in 2009, went to France, didn't make it there. I came back, went through a little bit of depression. I'm like, I should get a real job, right? And I worked. I did a lot of coaching while playing with the Whitecaps.
Yeah.
And my like of working with kids and all that. So I applied for a job through a Surrey association. I was working with special needs. So I worked with special needs for a year. Then they were special needs high school kids. So that was neat. Those kids they're amazing. If I could do that all over, I would in a heartbeat. I had a lot of fun working with them, and but then you got to move on, progress, and so then I went into, you can't get paid a certain amount for so long, so applied for more jobs. Again, working with kids, youth, and worked in Burnaby as an EA, and then finally as a youth worker in Surrey, and then now transitioning to a child and youth care worker year at
Cool.
Delvey.
Right on.
wow.
Yeah. So
Have you ever gone back to Uganda?
No,
Ever since you left?
like we were me and Turpin were talking
sorry.
about. We
This is what happens when you leave the room, Mr. Khan.
yeah, for your coffee break. No, out of my family members, I'm the only one that hasn't gone back, just because of time, money, and again, just working with like the school board or the school districts. The only time is summer to leave, and such a short window and it's expensive to go just for like 2 weeks.
Right.
If you gotta go, you want to make it like a month, make it worth it.
Yeah.
So I haven't been back. Eventually I will.
Do you know if there's well, when you go back, you'll probably see some changes. I know my parents, after we left, or after they left China, they went back and they're like, wow, it's completely changed. Mm-hmm. Has that happened to Uganda? How's it changed since the time you left?
Well, even from the time we left, there wasn't any schools and stuff. My parents actually started an organization, and they've built a school there, cafeteria, everything. They sent volunteers there once a month at least. My brothers tell me that it's changed a lot. Like, we used to live in like a little hut, and there's more housing now, right? So it'll be good to see that when I go back.
Are the big cities bigger now? Like,
yeah.
Where did you guys live?
My dad worked in Kampala, the capital.
Okay, yeah.
And so he worked with the government, so he was good. It was a weird situation. I don't know why, but me and my mom stayed in a little village outside of Kampala, and we lived in literally a house this big. Me, my mom, and my brother. But my brother went to school, so he'd go into the city with my dad, and I didn't go to school. I was still young. But yeah, I can imagine the city evolving and improving. My parents actually just got back, and I saw pictures, and it was like, wow, this is nothing like I remember, right?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So the whole thing with Idi Amin, that went until the early 80s, was it?
Yeah, about late 80s. So like, because we were still in turmoil.
Yeah.
Around when I was born, and then I'm going to use the word fled, because if we stayed, my dad would have been either put back in jail and died in jail, or so around the early 90s is when, because he was still around then. Late 80s, early 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something that I could never imagine going through.
Oh, the stories my dad tells me, just how lucky we are to be here, and this great place to live compared to what we were living like. So no, it was tough for him especially.
Of course.
And he only went back for the first time, I think, last year.
Wow.
After, I think, 25 years, just because he was still scared of if there's still some ties of if he's seen there, right? But with the grace of God, he went back and things were good.
Cool.
And there's still family back there?
Yeah, tons. Lots of family back there. Yeah. But they do come visit. My grandparents come visit at least every second year for like 6 months at a time.
Do you remember much from, I guess you were 7 when you came here?
When I came,
so 7 years.
Majority of what I remember is just, and I don't remember anything good. So I remember living in a little hut this big, gravel fields, kicking rocks around. Just watching my mom cook out of a small little pot, stirring. It's called fufu, flour and water. And then you eat it with, so it's like a little dough. You eat it, you put a hole in it, put it in sauce, any kind of sauce you make, eat it. And that was my food, or rice and beans. Rice and beans was the go-to back there. But yeah, I ate out of garbage cans. I drank gasoline once. My mom revived me. It was crazy. Crazy, yeah. That was one of my biggest memories, just going into a garbage can, grabbing some petroleum, and drinking it. And
was that just because you were trying it, or
just because I was going through a garbage can, thirsty, hungry. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. And me and my mom are so tight because we lived together for the whole time I was in Uganda, whereas my older brother was back and forth, right, in the city. So he had a better life when we were there, and then my little ones, I have two younger brothers, were born, but they were born just before we were getting ready to leave.
How long would it take to travel from your village to the city?
Oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how would you do that? Like
Walk.
You'd have to walk.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 5 hours walking.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts.
That is nuts.
I just heard somebody complain about a 25-minute walk back home.
Right? And I'm like,
Nobody can pick me up.
this weather? Oh, that's nothing.
No.
It's either, majority of our travel there was walk or bike. A lot of motorcycles,
Yeah.
right? But, yeah.
That's an impressive childhood. I mean, not many people can look back on their childhood and have that kind of adventure, for better or for worse. But I mean, drinking gasoline.
Yeah, it is, but, it's good because there's a story to tell there, right?
Absolutely, and it shapes who you are.
Yeah.
And
Well, it also helps you with what you do now.
Of course.
And have done along the way, right?
because what a lot of troubled youth need is a person that they can look to for inspiration.
Right.
A person to be a champion in their life. And when they can hear your story and what you've gone through and see how successful you're being, it's like, wow, there's hope.
And that's the biggest thing with why I love to work with youth and give back. It's just because I can relate to a lot of things. Like, I grew up in where I was picked on, bullied, called all sorts of names just because I was different. And, I lived a poverty life until a certain, my mom got her master's, jobs started coming in.
Yeah.
So I lived, a hard life. So I can give back to these kids that, you don't have to resort to like, oh, this is my life, this is it. You can always change it, right?
Yeah. And you really, like, you talk about rags to riches. I mean, you went from that to being a professional athlete.
Right? And some of these kids think, oh, go to school, mediocre. Like, if you go to school and you use your sport, if you're good at something, use it as a tool to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I would have gotten into Langara, my first college, without sports. Because my grades weren't good enough. Back then you have to have like a certain grade in provincials.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the brightest, but once you get there, you have to keep your scholarship. So you got to work a little harder in college. And that was just what soccer geared my like life to success, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have gone to university. So there's always hope if you can't, like, some of these kids want to go from high school to try in Europe and to try MLS, this and this. You're just not going to walk onto a team. It's nuts. It's hard.
Yeah.
Right? So go. I always recommend to go through the school way because you can still be seen and you can get an education, right?
Yeah.
So I was blessed in that to be good enough to get a scholarship, right?
Yeah. Can you take us through your journey with the Whitecaps? Like, how did that all come to be?
So I was one of the first ones. The Whitecaps started a reserve program.
Yeah.
It was the first year they had it, and I was in my first year at Trinity Western. So I played for the Whitecaps reserves because they were plucking all the best college players, and I got picked luckily, and I stuck that out for 1 year, and then my second year at Trinity Western, I was still under the reserve Whitecaps umbrella, and then we're at nationals with Trinity Western in Edmonton, and the Whitecaps first team coach Bob Lilly comes to watch the nationals again, scouting, I guess, but he had known me from the reserve team. So we are just about to start the final, and he goes to me. He's like, "Oh, don't say anything, but I heard you got first team All Star." I'm like, "Oh, wicked!" So he was proud of me for that, and so I got first team All Star, and he watched the game, said you played well, and then that was in the winter. That spring league, I was getting geared up for next season. We're in Portland. We're in Portland, about to play the Oregon State Beavers, and I get a call. I'm in my hotel, and he's like, I just want to tell you this right now. We're drafting you to the first team, and you'll be on a you'll be on a reserve contract, but you'll be on the first team just because I can't be on a pro contract and still go to school.
Right.
So I finished that year on the reserve contract, and I only played 3 games for the first team, but I trained with them full time. And then the following year is when I had to leave Trinity Western because I got signed to a pro contract.
Yeah.
And that's when, starting 9 games. I think at one point I was the youngest player to start 9 games in a row for the Whitecaps.
Wow, that's cool.
That was my second year.
Right on.
And third year was it was good, about the same thing. And we got a new coach, the fourth year, Tater.
Yep.
And he hadn't seen me play yet, so he made me actually try out.
Oh, wow.
So, because I was still one of the younger players, and he's like, I'm not going to give you a contract right away. I want to see you play, right? So he saw me play, tried out, and he signed me to an amateur contract. Again, in the USL back then, the money, not amateur, 1 year and an option.
Yeah.
Money wasn't the best, which is also part of the reason why I got released, because the following year I asked for more money, and they were like, yeah, we're not giving it to you because we're going MLS, and we're going to penny pinch.
Yeah.
And which they did. They cleaned house.
Yeah.
They released 10 players.
Wow.
Right? And brought in new players that would eventually be on the MLS team, right? But that's 2008 is when I made the national team, the Olympic and we lost to US in the Olympic qualifying against Freddie Adu, Altador, all those big names. But I got to play against Mexico.
Cool.
Yeah, we tied 1-1. I played against Ochoa, I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
Mexican goalie.
Yeah.
He played in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I played against Beckham, but I got to play against some neat players. So
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What was it like being in that organization? Working with guys that we hear about on the radio now because it's an MLS team, like Bob Leonard Uzi, and he's kind of seen as royalty in soccer in Vancouver because the family goes back to the old, NASL Whitecaps in the 1970s.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Bobby did play in the World Cup.
He sure did in 1986.
In 86.
Yeah.
So it's good to be named among those people.
Yeah.
Right? I know I had a short career, but I feel like I accomplished everything I wanted in life, even though it ended young.
Yeah.
Right? Like I told myself I want to play for Canada.
Yeah.
Took forever, but I did.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to play pro soccer. It happened. I
Yeah.
wanted to go to university. It all happened. So I do have a little bit of regrets. I could have, when you're in that environment, playing with all these pros, living a pro life, thinking you're famous.
Yeah.
It gets to your head. I was just, out there. I'd party. But if I did less of that and just kind of focused more on trying to become a better pro.
Yeah.
And go from USL to MLS, maybe I could have done more. But again, I don't want to live with any regrets.
No, of course.
Because it is what it is. You learn.
And
Well, the fact is that you did accomplish a lot, right? The things that you set out to do. And I guess it's difficult when you get to that level to keep level-headed.
It is.
Because you're getting all the attention.
And you're getting paid to do something you love. It's and you're a hometown boy. So all my friends are like, hey, yeah, we're coming to your game. Yeah, I'll give you tickets. It's just, you kind of feel famous. So and being 19, 20, and my parents were loving it, but they, I didn't have an agent to kind of help me control my money and where I want to go next.
Yeah.
I traveled to France on my own just to find a team, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found one, but I couldn't grasp the language, how to get my apartments paid for, so I had to come home, right? And come home, you can't crack a contract because you've been out of the game for 2 years, right? So, I could have done a lot of things different, but who knows, would I be here? Or would I be injured and looking for a contract and no job, no school, right?
Yeah. No, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. And, being in the position that you're in to have been a pro athlete. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm going to sneeze.
Let's do it.
Go ahead. Let's do it over there.
Yeah.
Not on me.
No, it's gone. But to have been a professional athlete and now being in the position that you're in, I mean, you have such cool stories to tell. You have the, having to literally flee Uganda, poverty life, growing up in the East End of Vancouver in the Britannia neighborhood, to Coquitlam, to being a professional soccer player, to now working with youth. I mean, there's no better way to give back. And you're in a really cool position, and I think you have an opportunity to do a ton of good.
Yeah, that's I love that I just got rehired on with the school board. Don't know where I'm going to be next year.
Bellevue, we'll request you.
I would love to be here and just start different kind of programs that involve, leadership roles, giving back to the community kind of things. So next year should be fun to play around with a lot of things if I'm here full time, right?
Yeah.
Juggling 2 schools right now, it's just your mind's here, there.
What's your other school?
Sands.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm there Monday, Wednesdays.
Nice.
Yeah. And the kids love you.
Yeah.
When I told them we were going to do an interview with you, they were like, "Whoa,
We might actually get some listeners on this episode.
we might actually listen this time."
Yeah.
That's great.
But it's not just the students that love you. I mean, you've built great relationships with the staff as well.
No, the staff here is amazing, right? Friendly. I mean, the staff at Sands is as amazing, but it's just different kind of personalities, and I feel like my personality fits better here, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you've played have you played a couple alumni games? Because I've been looking you up as I was trying to research you, because I know nothing about soccer.
There's a ball.
I did play soccer when I was 10.
You can
and
kick
I remember
it, but
kicking people's shins.
Yeah, you can't touch it with your hands unless you're a goalie. Those kinds of rules.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Don't kick the ball in your own net. I've done that once or twice.
So you still play alumni games?
Yeah, so there is a Whitecaps alumni team where they're currently trying to structure better games. So we had our first alumni game against Whitecaps FC2. I think it was last year. Played in that. So, but they're trying to organize an alumni league. So play the Seattle alumni.
Oh, cool.
Just so hopefully, I'm sure I'm on the team, but hopefully that league will kind of grow. So all the alumni boys can keep playing.
Is there an alumni association? Are you still associated with the Whitecaps?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I do coach with them, random spring camps. I get calls here and there.
That's cool.
That's neat. Yeah, I saw some of your fans asking for you back.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
So it's weird to even because I don't go around and I don't know. I played when they weren't MLS. They were USL.
No, but USL was still...
It was the biggest we had here, right?
It was the biggest we had here, yeah.
And
Swan Guard Stadium.
Right.
Beautiful stadium.
Yeah, it's the nicest natural grass you'll ever see.
Yeah.
It's such a nice field.
Oh, those games at 7 o'clock when the sun's still shining.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know I had fans. just a boy from Surrey, Coquitlam.
Yeah. I used to have season tickets growing up for the 86ers, and then when they changed the name back to the Whitecaps, it used to be part of the A League, and then they turned it to the USL, and then I think... Did it not transfer to another league called NASL?
Yeah, so I went USL, and they broke it up into... So USL was big.
Yeah.
They broke it up into USL Pro and NASL.
Right.
And then I think the Caps are in NASL.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, when the Whitecaps made the jump to MLS, Portland did the same year.
Yes.
So you got to play against the Portland Timbers, which was their biggest team. And you probably got to play against Seattle because that was only a year before.
Yeah, I played against Seattle.
So you played against the Seattle Sounders. So you were really a big part of that Cascadia rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
That's such a big,
Those games were massive.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of MLS names that I've played against.
Yeah.
I went on loan to TFC.
Oh, cool.
When I was in 08. They selected me to go on loan, and I played against Chivas.
Wow.
Yeah, so... I mean, I do have an MLS name out there.
Yeah.
It was nuts because I started that game too. I'm like, okay, I'm going on loan. Thought I'd maybe come off the bench or be a relief for someone if they get injured. Walk in there and I got to start.
And it was an MLS game?
Yeah.
Right on.
TFC versus
Chivas. That's super cool.
In Toronto, the red, what do they call it? The Red Mile, but it's all red in that stadium, and it's packed.
Yeah.
Oh, what a good atmosphere.
They call it BMO
Field.
BMO Field, that's right. Yeah. And isn't the one in Montreal also BMO Field? Or
Oh, no, it could be.
I know that they're both sponsored by BMO, the Montreal Impact.
Yeah, I know when I was playing, Saputo was
that's right.
the big sponsor.
Right, yeah.
But they could both be BMO now.
Do you have like jerseys that you kept from those games?
Yeah, I got 5 jerseys.
That's super cool.
Yeah, 4 seasons with the Whitecaps, and then 1 MLS jersey with Toronto.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
And they're hanging on your walls, framed.
I'll frame them again eventually. They're in my closet.
You still wear them once in a while.
I think I've worn one of them to a Whitecaps game. Wore my own jersey to go watch the Whitecaps.
That's so funny.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Diaz, you support Diaz, Kambere?" I'm like, "Yeah." I might be him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you were, like, of all the guys that I can think of from your Eagle Ridge days, you're the guy that made it to the pros.
Yeah, it's all the guys I played soccer growing up with. There's, I think, in my community, I was the only one.
Yeah.
Everyone else took different paths. I don't know.
I think that there's still this belief that there's not a lot of future in it.
No, Canada has no hope in soccer. I openly say that because the funding is not there.
Yeah.
The coaching is. They're starting to get some good coaches in to do academies, but it's all backwards. You got to get you see a kid at age 8 who has a remotely good enough potential, put him in an academy, which is not with kids that are less skilled than him.
Yeah.
You have good players playing with bad players, learning bad habits.
Yeah.
It's like I can dribble past 4 kids. I don't want to be in this academy. I want to be in an elite academy, and we don't have that until the Whitecaps residency, which is it's too late by then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're not developing the talent that's here.
No.
It's because and I'll say this as a bitter person, it all goes to hockey.
It does.
It all goes to hockey.
It makes sense, I guess, for Canada because hockey's our sport. But, I mean, if you want to make the World Cup, you watch the Mexico game. We just can't.
Sorry, what game?
Yeah, you watched Mexico practice.
Exactly, yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, I remember when I was playing soccer, of course, a year down, but we had a fairly good team. We won our division that year. Or when I was playing, I guess, U16, we won our division. And we had some talented guys on our team that played both soccer and hockey. And, of course, in British Columbia, those 2 seasons run at the same time. And if it came down to it, there's a schedule conflict, they'd always go and play hockey.
Yeah.
And that would put us down a couple, super elite guys. But they always felt, there's more future in hockey. So we'll skip our soccer game and go play hockey. It's like,
Which is true because there is more support.
yeah, it's totally true. There's more financial support. And, like, Soccer Canada is just not as big of an entity.
No.
It's not seen as important.
And again, that's a problem. I don't like to knock my own. Like, I played for Canada.
Yeah,
I love Canada.
Yeah,
But I know Julian de Guzman. He's the captain of Canada, and he plays in the NASL.
Yeah. He doesn't even play MLS.
Right?
Yeah.
He played MLS, but good for him.
Yeah.
He played MLS for a long time, but now he's playing NASL, and other countries' top players are playing in top leagues.
Of course.
So I don't know.
I mean, we've had players in top leagues. Our goalie, Craig Forrest, used to play for Ipswich in the UK. So we've had players that have played in elite leagues before. But
then again, our team was better back then.
It was. Yeah.
It was. Right? It's like it's gotten worse and worse and worse. They're going backwards.
Yeah, it's totally true. And you'd think, I mean, sports is kind of frivolous when you think of all the world problems that we have and, trying to stop climate change and find renewable energy and not building a pipeline, all of these big global issues, and you think everything costs money. Where's there room to fund sports? Is there value in that? But Canada seems so intent on funding this hockey. And again, I like hockey too, so I don't want to knock it too much. But think about the countries that play hockey. Mm-hmm. And in terms of like really high level competition, there's what, maybe 15
Yeah, that are like can compete.
that can compete, and Canada still wipes the floor with them. Usually at the World Juniors, you play Finland and win 8-0. It's like, okay, well, where's the competition?
Yeah.
And that's where we're throwing all of our money. But then on the big picture, every country plays soccer. And if you go to the FIFA website, it has all the countries ranked from number 1 all the way down to, like 175.
Mm-hmm.
And Canada's 174. I think
And
Malta is beneath us right now.
Our neighbor, U.S., right there, right beside us. Like, I feel like you should go have a conversation. The CSA and the USA
Yep.
soccer. How do you guys do it? How do you guys become good? How could we mimic you guys? Because they're right beside us, and their team is gone to the World Cup quarterfinals
Several times, yeah.
right? And half their players play in MLS. Half play overseas, but I just find it so strange that we're neighbors and it's that big of a gap.
I mean, think about it. Mexico's not that far away from us either.
Right,
I mean,
that
like
too.
a 4-hour flight, you go to Mexico. Yeah. Like this is North America here. Canada, Mexico, U.S. I mean, there are all of those countries in the Caribbean who are also better than us, like super small countries, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Haiti, Cuba. Like these countries have better teams than we have.
With less money.
With less money and way less population. I mean, the United States has a massive population, so it's easy to see how they could produce talented players. That's fine. But I mean, Canada has a bigger population than the Dominican Republic.
You see how the U.S. does it. Half their players are not all U.S. born.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they'll pluck these players from wherever, good players, give them citizenships, put them on the national team because they're unreal at soccer.
Yeah.
Whereas ours here, like we had Owen Hargreaves.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to go to England because he got cut, I think, from the team once.
Yeah.
There's Julian de Guzman, Juan de Guzman, Julian's brother.
Yeah.
He plays for Holland.
Yeah.
His brother plays here. So, I mean, and he starts for the Holland national team. Could be playing for Canada.
Yeah.
Hargreaves could have played for Canada. These are guys that start for other national teams.
Well, it's probably because they know that there's no support.
No support.
Yeah.
I'm going to go play for Canada, be the best player, and we're not going to make it anywhere. Or go play for Holland, who will make the World Cup every year.
Exactly.
And England, right?
Yeah. And play with guys like Robbie Van Persie. Who wouldn't want to play with a guy like that?
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're good enough to, why not?
Why not? Yeah. Gosh, that got really negative all of a sudden.
But I still love Canada soccer.
Of course. And we'll still support them no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of whether you're playing for Canada or wherever, and you played for Canada, and you're a professional athlete. So what is it like to be a professional athlete? I mean, as a professional, obviously you tweak things, you train hard, you do all of that. What is it like? The difference between professional and amateur to you?
You know what? We trained every day for 2 hours, and just repeating everything. Whereas amateurs right now, I play amateur league. We actually just won.
That's right.
The provincials.
I was going to bring that up.
And we train Monday, Wednesday, game on the weekend. Okay, and in between, your diet's different, Here, I might go for a beer with the guys, whereas when I'm playing pro, it'll be just squeaky clean, right? Mm-hmm. And fitness, mentally fit, because if you're training every day, for 2 hours a day, you're mentally fit. So when you have the ball, your brain's already ticking. Where when if you're not as fit and you're tired, your brain and body have to okay, it's just harder, right? So just being mentally fit, physically fit, and continuous repetition of the ball. Every day I'm touching the ball every single day for 2 hours at an intense pace, right? And if you're good enough to do that and you do that every day, imagine how much better you get, right? Yeah. And even off the field, professional conduct, you got to watch things you do, where you go, who you kind of interact with. Just, you got to keep yourself out of the limelight, right? I'm not saying I always did it, but when I was out and about, I didn't go out and be like, I'm Diaz, I play for the Whitecaps. It was more just, behind the scenes. Yeah. If someone notices me, say hi. be very professional.
Yeah. Be the role model. Right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's a lot of tuning and tweaking and fine tuning.
Fine tune, and that's the thing. It's not big things. It's just little things you have to fine tune.
Right. I mean, we had this conversation just the other day about. I think you were talking about you were taking piano lessons over the summer, and we were talking about how there's all these people who can play so well, but really, when you think about it, like I play as a hobby. It's not like I'm ever going to be a professional pianist, right? I just play it for fun, which is totally different from somebody who does it every day. And you were mentioning a friend who can just pick up any piece out of his brain and just play it perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a different level.
It's like everything has to become second nature.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, I remember when I was playing soccer and I was a little kid, my dad had a buddy who used to work for Rucanor. I don't think they exist anymore, but they were a equipment manufacturer. So anyways, my dad came home one day and he had bought basically at like super low cost, had bought 4 super good Rucanor balls. So I inflated 2 of them and I brought them in the house because they were brand new. They'd never been on the grass before. And my mom was like, "Oh, what are you doing? You can't have soccer balls in the house." I said, No, I just want them around the house. And I literally had a soccer ball at my foot all the time. If I was wandering around the house, I would go up the stairs to my bedroom and I would chip the ball up the stairs to myself. And that was when I was playing my best because I always had a ball at my feet.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But then, I go to college, I do theater. I haven't played for 7 years. And then my buddy's like, "Hey, let's go play a little pickup game." And it's like, I'm the worst player on the field because I haven't touched a ball for 7 years. Is that difference, right? That second nature. The ball almost has to become an extension of your body.
100%. That's in Europe or everywhere. They have 2-a-days.
Yeah.
Right? And, if a ball's at your feet or you're juggling, it's just like it's second nature. Yeah. It's just
I can't juggle anymore. I couldn't juggle to save my life. But, I used to be able to.
And that's what I tell kids when I'm coaching. I'm like, okay, practice is done, but, I won't see you guys till Wednesday, but Tuesday, get a ball, juggle 1,000 times, Be one with the ball. Yeah. Messi, like that thing sticks on his foot.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like it's duct tape there. Go to a tennis court and just shoot.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Try hitting the crossbar 10 times.
Yeah.
And, then it becomes like, I can just, like, it's like Steph Curry when he's shooting the ball. He does it every time. It's just release. It's because he knows the weight of the ball. Yeah. He knows how far he is. And with the soccer ball, too, it's like I know how hard to swing through it to hit the post. I can turn and just know how the amount of, lift I need to put on the ball to play it over the defender's head. Yeah. All because with the ball 24/7. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting. I was having this conversation with my English 12s today because I'm trying to get them to write a paper. They're not very excited about it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of my students don't consider themselves to be strong writers. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, how many papers do you write a year? 3. Well, then how do you expect to be a good writer if you're only writing 3? Like, yeah, it might not be as fun as shooting a basketball, sure, writing an essay, but the only way you're going to get better is practice and repetition. Mm-hmm. You have to do it a lot. Yeah. And my English 12s, they have a big, technically the big game is 3 weeks away. They got to write a provincial exam. Well, you got to practice for that. You got to write a lot in order to be able to write when it counts the most. Mm-hmm. But I think that a lot of youth these days, we're living in an iPhone generation now. There's this instant gratification. If you don't get it right the first time, give up. But it's like, no, you got to stick with it. Make it second nature. Just because you didn't get it right the first time doesn't mean that you can't. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what we need to encourage our kids to do is to stick with it.
I big time. I tried making the national team. I got cut from BC team 4 times.
Yeah.
And then finally I cracked it, right?
Yeah.
Can't just, and that's the thing with this generation. Is they try once, maybe twice, and it's like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And that's where I want to come and be that second nature of you're not done with this. Come on, we can do this. Yeah. Figure out a different avenue, right?
Exactly. Perseverance is a skill.
It is.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your team going to the nationals now.
It was a long road. I mean, long season. Started in September. Just finished now, actually, 3 weeks ago. But, we finished second in the league. There's cup play. We lost in the quarterfinals in cup play for a different cup. And then provincial is a big one. where the winner goes to represent BC in the nationals.
Right.
We played in Comox. We played Comox in the quarters. Beat them 5-1. Nanaimo in the semis beat them 5-0. Pacific United, and actually a rival club, beat them 1-0 in the semis. Sorry, round of 16 was Comox. Round of 16. And then the final in Victoria, we played Metro Ford. They finished first. They finished first in the league. We finished second. So in the VMSL, the league we played in, it was the first time of first and second.
VMSL is Vancouver Metro Soccer League?
Yeah. It's the highest league for amateur besides. So it goes VMSL, then Whitecaps FC2,
Right.
Whitecaps first team.
And sorry, what club do you play for now?
Surrey Pegasus.
Surrey Pegasus,
Yeah.
okay.
And we go. So first and second play each other, and we lost by 1 point. So they finished with, I think, 50. We had 49, something like that. Anyways, we were down 1-0 within 17 minutes. I'm like, shoot, this is going to be a long journey. And then 70th minute, we crack our first goal after playing the ball 16 passes without them touching the ball. 1-1. And 78th minute, we get a PK.
Oh,
2-1, and we held on and just lifting that trophy. Just lifting that trophy. So it was a good win.
Yeah.
Now we get to represent Canada and hopefully bring home the national title.
well, that's super cool.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
super cool.
it'll be my third. Well, I got 2 championships for the Whitecaps, so this will be good if I get this one at this level, right?
What was it like winning a championship with the Whitecaps?
I mean, I was younger,
Yeah.
but just the joy. Like, it's like you're living a dream for at least a week straight after that. Like,
Yeah.
when you get a championship ring, just like, you see like people winning NBA titles,
Yeah, of course.
NHL titles, and it's amazing. It's amazing to be part of that.
Yeah.
Just to say you did that,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And you get to travel around a lot,
Oh, yeah.
too. Yeah.
My longest road trip, a 28-day road trip. Yeah, so we were all over the States. 28 days.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then you got all the hardware, and that basically said that you did something here that was
Yeah, so
that normal people don't get the chance to do.
I've got
So
a
that's
few
pretty-
hardware. Yeah.
Do you ever,
Do you ever bring it around?
yeah.
Will you bring it?
I could bring it. I could bring it. I got the rings. I got the jerseys.
So I see you in Nikic's class a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that you two have a really nice friendly banter going on.
Yeah, we talk sports, and he's intelligent in his basketball. He knows.
And baseball.
And baseball. He knows his sports, right?
Yeah.
He's coached.
Yep.
So it's good to always bounce little conversations
Yeah.
with each other.
But if you ever wanted to show him up, you could rock some hardware and say, "Hey, Nikic, you got one of these, huh? Huh?"
That's
Kiss
always
the ring.
my go-to. It's in the back pocket.
The trump card, yeah.
The trump card. I'm like, okay, fine. Well, guess what I have?
Yeah. How many championship rings do you have, Vlad Nikic?
Yeah, see, that's awesome to just be able to say I've got a championship ring.
Yeah.
2, actually.
2.
Name engraved in there.
Oh, that's
Number.
super
We actually had a teacher here once who had a Grey Cup ring.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, John Coughlin played for the Lions, and yeah, he brought that once, and I was like, "Oh, what's that? That's a Grey Cup ring."
Yeah.
What? That's when we got into conversation about what you were in the Grey Cup.
Well, I mean, as far as Vancouver goes, we've kind of had a big cloud over us for a long time. I mean, the Lions have won championships, but the Whitecaps, when they win championships, I mean, that means something.
Oh, yeah.
The Canucks don't have any championships.
That's right.
No. When you see Canucks alumni, they get an alumni ring, but that's no Stanley Cup ring.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, a Vancouver team that brings home a championship really means something to this town.
No, it was big. We were honored very well, down at City Hall. Everyone knew, I didn't play in the championship game, but I was part of the team. And
Yeah.
It's still just a big accomplishment,
For sure.
right? You
Yeah.
want, there's Champions League.
Yeah.
That's a big title. USL was our league.
Yep.
We won the league, right?
Yeah.
That's what we were playing for.
Of course. Yeah. It's always an accomplishment. Anytime you win a championship, that's an
especially at a pro level. Oh.
Of course. Of course.
So where do we go to see you play?
Oof, you got to fly to Newfoundland.
That's where the Nationals are. Oh.
Yeah. No, our season starts up again. We'll start training camp early August. Nationals are in October, so we'll start the league in early August, and then we'll leave for I think 10 days, 8 days to Newfoundland for the Nationals.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
But usually we play out of Newton Athletic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll give you guys I'll make up some tickets for you guys.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. We want to go see you play. We'll bring a whole bunch of fans there.
Yeah, it's free. You guys can come watch.
Sweet.
We'll bring the cooler bottle.
Raiders represent, right?
Yeah. DL.
Awesome. Well, it's been good talking to you.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been super cool.
It's rare I talk.
What a life.
I don't really talk about this much, but it's good to disclose it sometime, you know.
Yeah.
Brings me back to like, okay, you know what, I have done well in life kind of thing, you know?
Well, and you know what? 30.
Right.
Okay, he's 30.
Yeah.
Right? Like, think about the things that you've
10
accomplished
years
at
older.
30.
Younger than I am.
I'm 30. I haven't accomplished half as much. Not half as much.
You've got your own things.
Yeah,
going
Well,
on.
no,
you've
but
got
still,
your own
I don't have a championship ring.
Yeah.
I don't have a championship ring.
I think is that a natural thing for people who do really well, like yourself, a pro, and, you know, for yourself, you're a professional actor.
Yeah.
To have that little bit of self-doubt, that I think that kind of drives us forward a little bit.
I think everybody at some point in time has self-doubt. And I think you're right. I think that just having a shred of it, not the kind that's going to beat yourself up constantly, but a shred of self-doubt is what drives you forward. And it's always how you reevaluate yourself and say, what am I doing? How can I do it better so I can get myself to the next level?
Right.
I always use that quote from Batman, The Dark Knight, when the dad goes, "Why do we fall, Bruce?" To pick ourselves up, right?
Yeah. It's a great quote.
Yeah.
Great quote.
Awesome.
All right, so we'll end with that.
Perfect. There you go.
Thanks, Diaz.
Thanks, Diaz.
Dark Knight quote. Okay.
Nice meeting you.
Always a pleasure.